Welcome to the Ascend Tournament Series mainstream, everyone. Hopefully all are doing well. I'm Spotty FC. You've joined us for a great night of Phoenix Cup action as we'll take a look at our matchup this evening. It's going to be a pretty fun one as well. Ukiyo Kaizen taking on Affinity Reborn. We have not seen Affinity Reborn on the stream for a little bit, so it's nice to have them rejoin us here as they are now in the Phoenix Cup this season. Last season, they're part of our Catalyst Cup. Again, the biggest division we've ever had in 32 teams, and they themselves made quite the run to the top 4 of the division, eventually losing to the runners-up in RC Velocity. This season now, they're in the Phoenix Cup, and it's a completely different roster for Affinity Mirage. Did I say Affinity Reborn? That's the org is Affinity Reborn. Affinity Mirage is the team. Again, the roster is completely different. The only person that's actually stuck around since last season is Gray. Adding in Door, the Windex, and Crypt. Ukiyo Kaizen, we got to see earlier this season, I believe. Their first matches might have actually been their first match. See, when they, no, it wasn't. Play Aura Hornets. I know we've seen them at least once already this season. Not the first time we've seen Ukiyo Kaizen, that's for certain. I know we've seen them already. Yeah, we saw them in their loss to the Aura Hornets, so definitely seen them already this season. But we did see them in their one and only loss. They're currently 2-1 off of that loss. Although they did just come off of win last week, a 3-1 win over Torrent Typhoon. Certain here because one team's leading in the group, the other one is not, and while Ukiyo Kaizen are leading, they're 2-1. They're the second best team in the group right now. Again, the second through fifth place teams are all 2-1 or 1-2. They're all right next to each other. So things are going to change. Are going to be shaken up in the next couple of weeks with these 4 teams in their rankings. So see how things go here. But I expect to see this kind of standings shake up a little bit more. Now though, we'll wait a little bit longer. Again, to get Affinity Mirage in the stream since that semifinals matchup that they did lose to RC Velocity. I believe we did stream that one. We definitely did. So we haven't seen them since then. So it's nice to have them back on stream again. A team like Affinity Mirage, a team that I think are absolutely good enough to win. One of the best teams we've ever had that have not won in comparison to the opponents that they've had in that Catalyst Cup division. Obviously, this season they have now moved up a division, so it's a lot tougher. Phoenix Cup's a lot tougher for the. It's gonna be a lot tougher division. It's gonna be a much tougher division for them to play in. Division they're gonna have to get quite comfortable with because it's not a very long division. Again, we're in the 4th of 5 weeks, so for Affinity Mirage, really, those hopes at playoffs are resting on getting some important wins late in the season for them. They're, again, not number 4 team right now. The team right behind them, Torrent Typhoon, this week plays against the Aura Hornets. Next week, they'll get a forfeit win over Team Evo Eclipse, and for Affinity Mirage, their last match of the season is against the Aura Hornets. So, for Affinity Mirage, their last 2 matches are not easy matches. They are going to need to rely on having some pretty big wins here late in the season if they do not want to be 4th. Because, again, the team right next to them in this grouping is Torrent Typhoon. Torrent Typhoon, which actually, I believe, is actually the ex-American roster that won the Catalyst Cup last season. Their last 2 matches, they play Aura Hornets, and then they get their 4th win over Evo Eclipse. It's easier for them to surpass Affinity Mirage. So Affinity, very much in under the risk of going out in this group. Pressure is on them. Oh, you know what? It's TJ's team. I'm thinking of another. What Torrent team am I thinking of? Thinking of a different Torrent team. What Torrent team? You're right. I'm thinking of Torrent Haze. Haze is fine, actually. They're 2-2. You're right. Typhoon is TJ's team. I'm surprised they're 1-2 then. They're pretty good. That's a pretty good roster. Anyways, yeah, sorry. That's TJ and Ohmster's team. Yeah, they're Haze. You're right. Americana is now Haze. They're 2-2 actually. They should be fine in their group, although their group is also pretty close with two other teams at 2-2. So it's gonna be competitive there. I'm looking for this. I think for now. But again, I think for Affinity Mirage, there's a very good chance they get eliminated this season before they make it into the top 6. Pressure's definitely on them. More so than it is on Ukiyo Kaizen. Well, Kaizen have not guaranteed their spot. And the last week of the season, not an easy one. They got to play against the Chill Stars, who have so far dominated this group. Kaizen's in a good position. If they win this, they will make it. They will not be eliminated this season. They lose, there is actually a chance that they do get eliminated. It would require a bunch of other incredible results to happen, but I can't say it's impossible. It is not impossible for Ukiyo Kaizen team, who last season in this Phoenix Cup barely missed out on a top 8 showing. This season trying to do exactly that. You know this team wants to make it to that final bracket again. Sorry, wants to make that final bracket qualifier again. Wants to make that final bracket. If they can win this, they give themselves the ultimate chance to take on that #1 team in the group. But for Ukiyo Kaizen and Affinity Mirage, here we go. Week 4 of 5 in the Phoenix Cup. Only 2 more matches to go for both these teams competing. And that means playoff spots starting to lock in, and that means you gotta get those wins late. Ukiyo Kaizen on the blue, who we've seen in their one and only loss this season to the Hornets, taking on Affinity Mirage, the top 4 team from last season, a top 6 team from the season before, although they didn't compete in the final bracket that season due to availability issues and power outages. Now their hope is that this season can be theirs, but for Affinity Mirage, elimination not very unlikely from their position. They're right now holding that number 4 spot, but the last 2 weeks of the season being rather tough against some pretty tough opponents in Kaizen and the Hornets. They're gonna need wins here as, a bit of awkwardness in front. Crypt's gonna have this one. His first goal of the season as he's subbed in for Affinity Mirage, replacing CJ Godzilla. Sorry, not CJ Godzilla. He's on Ukiyo. Yeah, replacing one of the starters for Affinity Mirage. It's definitely not CJ. I remember hearing from Affinity talking about Crypt, subbing in. They have not had to use subs before this point. So again, Crypt being that new player. And sorry, apologies, he is not replacing CJ Godzilla. CJ's on Ukiyo. As another update for all of you if you don't know, John Scopes, that is Beziki. The high rank player has been on for a while here, and he has not changed his username at any point. Yeah, you'll be hearing me refer to him as Beziki. Well, again, his username has always been John Scopes, as there goes Gray! We'll get a second one off the infield play! It was a pass that connected out well. That demo really made things happen. Door breaking down the defense on Ukiyo. And Affinity Mirage with a second. Considering that Ukiyo Kaizen gonna have to play the dominant Chill Stars team next week, the team that is literally 4-0 right now in this group, in a group that's been quite competitive. But being able to find those performances here as Door challenged by Azebo. Kill Door to keep things up high. Crypt towards the net. Azebo to save. Beziki can't get there. Affinity Mirage will clear it away as demo by CJ Godzilla. Azebo put this one on target. Cleared away by Crypt. Godzilla. A team bump there. Beziki doesn't have boosty. Took out Azebo. Infield pass though. And a miss off the back wall. Azebo will score. Gray had a full tank of boost, but this one, he's not even close to reading that. Azebo never doubted it. And he went right in. And I know this season for Azebo and Ukiyo Kaizen, this is a team that, while they haven't explicitly said it, is a team that they have built to win. Knowing this Ukiyo Kaizen side, they're expecting nothing less than to win this season. Being the team at their caliber, being one of the highest ranked teams in this Phoenix Cup. They're looking to take the tournament. Play even here as Aizbo challenged away. CJ Godzilla. Stood up high. Gray. Get one touch on the field as Aizbo waiting back. Gray up the back wall. CJ Godzilla gets that block. Aizbo clear. John Scopes, Beziki. Looking for number 2. Door can't get there! A long shot! And it's tied at 2 each! And just what a great lob from Aizbo. That touch really does force Door. He can't go because it's too high up. But it's so slow. It's laid up perfectly to sit there. And a perfect play. It's the long shot. And a great job from Beziki putting the power on that one. And it's lifted right over Door. Tie game with less than 2 minutes to go. And here goes Beziki again. Aizbo. No boost. Gray doesn't get to it in time. Door's gonna have this one. Now goes Crypt to clear. DJ Godzilla to the corner. Affinity Mirage on offense. There's John Scopes. Beziki. 50-50. Left for Aizbo. The corner. Challenged by Gray. And now Door! And a miss in the backfield! It will slide in. Affinity and Mirage take the lead again. Just a light touch on Door. I think he actually wanted more control on that, but... I mean, Beziki committed for it. And a 3-2 lead in game 1 for Affinity Mirage. But here goes Aizbo! That's off the crossbar! Where's the follow-up? Oh, there's nobody there. Aizbo really needed to score that shot to begin with, but that was a setup and a half as now Crypt with his second. Affinity Mirage with a 4-2 lead as Beziki swiped off the earth by Door. And for Ukiyo Kaizen team that has definitely had their underperforming matches this season. Looking not to let that happen here. It's Aizbo. Races back. Door. Left for Gray. CJ Godzilla. Sidewall will be Door to keep it as Aizbo is waiting. Door, the 50-50. Beziki will control, but Ukiyo Kaizen just don't have a good position. Don't really have any real openings. They don't have really that space to attack with. The team that likes its room. Haven't seen much of it here, but it's a play! Oh, it's off the crossbar, Aizbo. Got a piece of it, but not the entirety of the ball there, and might be the difference maker as Affinity Mirage will just keep the play. Gray, Crypt. Clearing it out, that will waste every last second left. And Ukiyo Kaizen keeping the ball up, but not forever. Game 1 will end. Affinity Mirage. The advantage now in this series. Considering that it was Crypt to, again, it was brought in as a sub for Affinity Mirage and replacement of Little Windex. What a performance so far. The sub, his first game this season. Again, was literally just added his first game all season. And a pretty solid performance there. 2 goals. Sure, Crypt will looking to repeat that going into game 2. There's Door to clear. Gray. The dribble. Challenged by CJ Godzilla. Crypt leaves it as here goes CJ Godzilla to Aizbo! And the first goal! And the first lead of the series for Ukiyo Kaizen. And man, CJ, he really lifted that one. And that challenge wasn't even close for Affinity Mirage. They got completely beat, and I just noticed my overlay is incorrect. This is not a best of 7. This is a best of 5. One sec. There you go. Overlay's back. Apologies, everybody. This is a best of 5, not a best of 7. We're not in playoffs just yet, though. Again, we're about 2 weeks away from that. So, again, but next week being the last week of the regular season, really a lot of pressure on these teams. Especially, it's really the pressure's on whoever loses this one, because essentially, if you lose, you must perform well next week. If Affinity Mirage they lose, they have to win next week, basically, to likely get their spot. They might be. It may not even be enough considering what happens with Torrent Typhoon against Hornets later this week. For Kaizen, if they lose, a little bit more risk on them. They don't need to win, even if they lose, but against a team like the Chill Stars, they're likely going to have a very tough time. No one's been able to even come close to beating them. In fact, their game differential is plus 11 in all matches. That means that they've swept every match but one, and actually that match was last week against Affinity Mirage, so only dropped one game all season. They have been dominant. Seen them already this season. I don't know if anyone's going to beat them in this group, as that's a great pass outfield! Oh my goodness! I mean, it's not an easy shot for grip, but I mean, this is well played. And Acebo, who doesn't see it, I mean, he just jumps where he really shouldn't be. Capitalized by Affinity Mirage off the mistake from Acebo. Affinity Mirage, only one goal back in. This is DJ Godzilla. Crypt fakes him. Midfield, Beziki will be up. No boost left, though, will be Door. Gray, can't read it. Acebo, test him. Oh, it's in! Oh, no! Well, not only did he miss it, he somehow slams that one in his own net. Crypt, who has not had that many bad plays so far tonight. That is one. On an unfortunate own goal at an unfortunate time. And Affinity Mirage are now down again. Considering that their last goal again came from that overcommit from Acebo, they're gonna have to really find some offense here. Kaizen is just playing on the counterattack at this point. The team that likes doing that here as Door wins it. Dribble, flick, still Door. Looking for the bump on CJ Godzilla. Beziki up next. This one left out for Crypt. Is well played from Gray to allow Crypt to walk in. Now he's trying to find another. Acebo will clear. Gray. First pinch. Really can't get the shot. Crypt leaves it as 2 go for Ukiyo. Door. Still Door across the goal line. Here goes Gray. He missed the net. Crypt to shoot. This one's falling in front. CJ Godzilla clears it out. A big missed chance there for Gray. He had the net. I'm surprised he didn't score that. I mean, that was laid up right there in front of the net for him. He had a corridor open. As Crypt clears again. Launched back by Beziki. Acebo won't put it on target. Gray whiffed on it. Shot weak. Mirage will not commit to it. And back pass to Crypt. Oh, enough time left only to get one goal here for Affinity Mirage. As Gray gonna fake him, but the other player really fell for it as Ukiyo Kaizen up the field. Beziki. Door. No second touch, just trying to bump out CJ Godzilla, but he'll get some lift on that one as flip reset. Kept up by Gray. Door will be next to it. 1 minute. Affinity Mirage. 1 goal behind as Crypt's own goal. So far the winning goal of this game as this one saved. Gray can't react to it, and it's a 3-1 advantage. Simply put for Affinity Mirage, put everybody upfield. It's that dunk from Acebo that they weren't expecting. And now, less time to have to get more goals. Affinity Mirage We are playing from behind as this one is save away. 30 seconds to go. Game 1 was Affinity Mirage's game. Game 2 looking like it could be for Ukiyo Kaizen unless something changes. Everybody committed on that one as Crypt to door. Oh, that's a beautiful pass. 12 seconds for Affinity Mirage to get one more. They've really been behind this game, but well, if they can get a good kickoff and one more play, they give themselves a chance. The kickoff won't be it. Crypt can't win it. John Scopes, Bezzy save by door. Crypt to clear. CJ Godzilla, midfield, door. Will keep it alive, but they've got to go across the field here, and they're not exactly in a good position. Door doesn't have boost. Gray can't read it. He won't get enough on it. Ukiyo Kaizen win game 2. And an even series now. As both these teams now get a win against each other. These games really started out with either team being able to take that control. In both games we've seen, whoever takes that lead early does not seem to lose it very easily. We're going to need to see more pushback from both sides. A little bit more of that drive to really want this one. Definitely been leaders. Now it comes down to really who wants it more. So far it's been a bit of a learning process for both teams to get used to each other, and at this point, gotta know how the other team wants to play. You gotta be able to adapt to it, as that's a great play for Bezzy. He had some open room and he really used it. Not only did he, make this amazing flick over Crypt at the end of this, he basically 1v4 Affinity Mirage in his own corner. That's what makes Bezzy such a scary player. He's mechanical. He doesn't show it all the time, but he's definitely got that mechanical ability. There's something to be careful about. Is Crypt now save away by Bezzy. Ooh, I was trying to steal one back. As Gray, door. Essentially working as a clear. Nobody there on the end of this is Bezzy. Door, waiting. He'll keep this one up in the air. Door again. Azbo challenges. Gray. CJ Godzilla. This Crypt will stay on it as Door's not gonna get it. Oh, it went across the goal. Azbo didn't score that one. As here goes Gray on the dribble. The dunk. I don't know what Crypt's doing up in the air here, but it will not help his team. He's now forced all the way back, and that commit for Door really was one where he couldn't put everything in as he wanted to. He knows if he loses that 50-50, there is no one behind him. The Crypt's out of position. Gray's already just gone for a shot. That heavy commit really only hurts him here as, wait a second, it's 2v2, and it's gonna go under the bar! I didn't realize it was 2v2, but no wonder there was so much room open. Affinity Mirage using that room to their advantage. Crypt now off the back wall. Bezzy to Door, who got a player chasing behind him. Now he's got room. Crypt's waiting. That pass was read by CJ Godzilla. Ukiyo will take it down the field. Gray. Azbo. Door. Dunked by Azbo. CJ Godzilla off the back wall. Crypt will keep it high. Here goes Gray. Doesn't read it. Azbo. The sidewall will keep the play going. As Crypt. Clear. Door. Redirect. Still. Door! Down! And in! Oh my! He just kept on going! He just kept on moving, kept up high, floated in, and took it! The lead falls to Affinity Mirage! And with just about half the game to go now, For a series where it feels like players need to step up and take over for their teams. That might be one such moment. As now Gray looking for his own chance to the back wall. This one he won't get to, though. He's too low on the ball. But Affinity Mirage keep it. CJ Godzilla to clear. Kept backed in by Crypt. The bump for Gray. Back wall. Won't shoot this one. Door's gotta go back. He's gotta go back quickly, too. This is on target. Keep it wide as midfield. Crypt to clear. Acebo. Bumped out before he could get another touch on this. CJ Godzilla hasn't got it either. Beziki, back to door. Acebo. CJ Godzilla trying to take down Crypt, but it's still Affinity Mirage's possession. Beziki. Everybody from Ukiyo Kaizen on the back wall here, so no real easy way to break out, and in fact, they're not even going to get a chance to break out. This is still in front of the nets. Affinity Mirage looking hopeful for a 3-1 lead. Here goes Crypt. Acebo's on it. Door. Oh, he doesn't have this one, and Beziki. Give his team a chance. Acebo to the back wall. Door can't get to it. It's just off the bar by CJ Godzilla. Ukiyo Kaizen will backtrack a little bit more. Acebo. Not on target. Bounce midfield. Crypt. Acebo to shoot. Beziki, midfield will be between all the defenders, but no one there to shoot. Ukiyo Kaizen have the right idea. They just gotta make it work. As another chance saved away. Beziki, shut down by Gray. So far, Beziki with the only goal of this game for Ukiyo Kaizen. 30 seconds to go. This one dropped in front. Beziki, CJ, he's not gonna let that one go on target. The shot's just too light to really be all that threatening. And Ukiyo will head back as Acebo. They'll leave it for CJ Godzilla. Crypt clears. Beziki. Chasing this one. Really chasing this game. Ukiyo Kaizen. Not had the lead all game 3, and well, they may stay that way. This ball bounces off the sidewall. Crypt will make the touch. Godzilla. Acebo can't get to it! And another game where that early lead really does hold on for the rest of this game. Affinity Mirage take match point against Ukiyo Kaizen. That goal from Door. What a goal to take the win here. Be one of the best goals we've seen all season so far. Mirage, only one more win needed to take the series. I mean, this is a favorable climate for them to be in. Now it's about being able to close it out. Although I know Ukiyo Kaizen, they're not going to make this easy. They'd already lose this once this season to the Aura Hornets. They really be embarrassed. A team that, again, was built to win this season. Really don't want to lose to an Affinity Mirage team that so far has had a tough season. As Crypt got bumped, it's wide open for Acebo. Crypt was nowhere to be seen, and for very good reason. CJ Godzilla went right after him. It's Gray. With room. CJ Godzilla. We're back by Beziki. Here goes Crypt. Will be Door to follow. Acebo. Sidewall. Crypt. Will keep it high as Beziki. Sent to the back wall. It is Gray. Acebo. Second touch. Still Acebo. Now around Crypt for Beziki. Saved by Door. CJ Godzilla got bumped. It is Gray who missed on it. Crypt on the demo. Gray. DJ Godzilla. Switching for a play on offense as Acemo's shot, that was straight on net. Door, they didn't have enough time to react to it, but fortunately, in the right place, will not need to react. Ukiyo Kaizen's early lead still stands. They search for Game 5. Gripped. Just gonna throw it at net. That Beziki never jumped. But it will not go in as Affinity Mirage, a little bit out of position, will just keep the ball up in the air, try to slow down Ukiyo Kaizen's push-up field. They can win a couple challenges, they can get a couple plays in front. You know, Affinity Mirage have it here as Door. He did take out one of the players, but more, and now Affinity Mirage have to go back. As Beziki. Gray to stop it. Boom for Gray is gripped. Feared by Acebo. Kaizen. Just there. Door. Gripped. No redirect, and if he gets that one, you're thinking of potentially a 1-1 tied game. Instead, now it is another chance as they're just taking a lot of long shots here. Affinity Mirage really are not getting close to that blue net. It's worrying for them because they're not going to score from that distance very often against Ukiyo Kaizen. Oh, it's a miss! Oh, that could have been in. Door had to get up quite late for that one. Now it's in front of the net, and it's found the net too. Well, the miss from Crypt really only made things worse here. I'm sure Gray would have loved to have that save. It's just a little out of reach. And as said before, whoever gets this early lead seems to just be the ones that don't lose it. That's how this game's gonna play. We've got Game 5 on our hands. Script on the demo. CJ Godzilla. Door. Drop down. CJ Godzilla again takes away the play from Gray. Now across will be Beziki. Crypt. I really like that first touch. It is right under the ceiling. He's got all this room. Reset for Door. Too many players in front. Ukiyo Kaizen are simply just packing that net. They are not letting anything through. A lot more passive. They're usually quite aggressive Ukiyo team, but considering how this series has not been their best so far, I think they'll be more than happy just to win this by really sitting in the goal and not letting Affinity Mirage have anything, because they realize Affinity Mirage have just not had good shots this game, and if they keep waiting in the net, Affinity Mirage have not had chances. They've not really made chances for themselves. Door. Acebo. Gray. DJ Godzilla. 1 minute left. Crypt can't read it. Here goes Beziki for 3-0. And that might end Game 4. With 55 seconds left, I don't see any way Affinity Mirage can win back this game. We're going to Game 5, almost certainly now. In Champions Field in a little while on this stream, so always nice to be back. For Ukiyo Kaizen, their last loss came to Champions Field against the Aura Hornets. Considering that this series has really been dictated by whoever can score first. The question for Game 5, and more importantly, is who's going to score first, because the series hasn't really changed all that much. In how the storylines have worked out here. It really is that simple. Whoever seems to score first wins. Unless again we see something crazy, that's likely to stay, because that's usually quite true, especially in Game 5 where generally the game can be quite one-sided after that first goal goes in. Feels like this is a series that would likely follow in that pattern, and well, Game 5 on the horizon. These teams have a lot to talk about here. I really think next game you need to be the one to score first, because if you aren't, you're not winning. So that's the real problem for both these teams. And now though, Ukiyo Kaizen, a shutout win in Game 4. We have not seen one so far this series, so Ukiyo Kaizen getting one here right before Game 5. Really trying to make, really making Affinity Mirage maybe second guess themselves, but wasting no time. Affinity Mirage aren't waiting any longer. Just want to go right into it here. A confident play, I like it. Affinity Mirage, this is their first time on Champions Field this season. For Ukiyo Kaizen, it's their second. Could be their second loss, too, to another team that's ranked a little bit below them here. Affinity Mirage, though. So it still needs to get this win. It is still a very difficult win to get. Ukiyo Kaizen are not making it easy. But again, it all comes down to that first goal. Who can get that first goal? Who can get that first marker? As Crypt actually missed that first play. We'll get it up the back wall, though. And that first goal is almost certainly, I think, is going to be the goal that wins this thing. May not see much more than that, but I really think whoever gets that first goal likely sets their team up for a somewhat one-sided performance. The series has kind of been playing out, hasn't it? As Acebo, demoed by Door. Affinity Mirage are going to need to get a little bit more aggressive. If Ukiyo Kaizen continue to really put players right in front of that net, as they did last game, it's going to be very tough to beat this team without demoing some of those players. One. He played back by Door. He was actually, I think, wanting Gray to challenge this. Gray kind of left the play, obviously, on the assumption that Door would take that one, as now he goes up. Crypt's getting some demos. CJ Godzilla a little bit slow to this one. He had to jump out the way. Oh, and a miss! Acebo can shoot this one. Crypt will be ready. Now, one big misplay. That really could have unraveled the Affinity Mirage team, but here they go the other way. Door, under, and in! An aggressive but hesitant play from Acebo. He was cautious whether he should challenge or not, and simply put, his time had already passed for him to go. Far too late, far too slow, and Affinity Mirage more than happy to score first. Acebo found the corner. Crypt to clear it back. Beziki can't read it. As Gray on no boost. Oh, he's on low boost, actually. Acebo, chance for Beziki! Drop it! High game at 1. These players aren't slowing down. The game isn't either. Champions Field, and I think that Affinity Mirage, a lot more pressure on them now, as that's a great outplay. Crypt around the corner, just one player back, gets that bump, but still kept out by Beziki as Grade, Sador, Acebo. Oh, that's shot off of Beziki. Saved by CJ Godzilla. Gray, low boost. Taking his time to get there, but that demo will help him out as he finds Door. I don't know if Door was the intended target of that pass, but really the right idea there. There was just too many players in front of him. And Ukiyo Kaizen. Affinity Mirage really feels like both these teams are waiting for something to break. As Gray up the corner, can't find it. Here goes Crypt, the sub, saved away by CJ Godzilla. Door, push out the way as here goes Acebo. Door again, looking for Crypt. This one left in front for Gray. It's off the back wall. Play for Door. Oh, and he backed off. If he goes, maybe that's a 2-1 lead, but he left the play. And the chance goes asking. Affinity Mirage. Ukiyo Kaizen. Crypt. On target, saved by Acebo. I'm winding down here. I thought this was going to be a little bit more one-sided after Affinity Mirage got that first goal. Clearly, it has not been that way. It feels like maybe we might be in store for only one more goal. Ew, that goal would be the one to win it as Crypt. Acebo. A lot of boost here. Ukiyo Kaizen haven't really been on low boost that often this game. As a miss in front, it's DJ Godzilla who finds the net. Ukiyo Kaizen have come back from a 1-goal deficit as Gray and then Crypt just don't read it correctly. They bounce a lot harder than they were expecting. Maybe they were expecting the double tap to be the play that they would go for. Now they gotta find a goal here. Very little time left. And Door gonna start the play. Infield. DJ Godzilla on top of it. And a great demo from Gray. Here goes Crypt. Pinch off the back wall. Beziki. What a read. Now it's Gray to Door. Oh, it's in for Gray! No winning goal just yet. Affinity Mirage are still in it. They sneak it in front. Door with the presence of mind to know the play was on him. And Gray with the finishing blow. Once again, we're at a stalemate. And with half a minute left in regulation in Game 5's first 5 minutes, it's anyone's to win it again. Beziki. Using the ground pinch, just trying to play around Affinity Mirage. He's opened up some room. Beziki, the fake! Ismo! Oh, it's on! What a fake from Beziki! And the mechanical mastermind didn't have to do much there, but he pulls the Affinity Mirage players in. And the fake left for Ismo. Has that won it? Surely it has. But Gray keeps it alive one last time. Ismo keeps it out. Second touch ends the series there. Ukiyo Kaizen win it in 5 games. And the fake from Beziki with the winning goal scored by the captain and Ismo. They battled for that one. But the win is theirs. Five games. What a series so far. And what a tournament to have here. It is now Ukiyo Kaizen who go to 3-1. Joining us is Ismo, your second time on Game 5 this season and on this stream. Now you get your win. Your record improves to 3-1. And for you guys, I know you guys haven't secured your spot yet, but you have from this win. I'm almost certain you've secured your spot now. So you're guaranteed at least a spot in the top 16. Obviously, that's not good enough for you guys, but you get to relax a little bit going to your last week. How you feeling, Ismo? Did Ismo disconnect? Oh, you know what? My audio's not correct on Discord. One sec.
40?
There we go. Now you can hear me. I had the wrong audio input. Welcome in, Ismo. As I just mentioned, your record improves to 3-1. That win, I believe, is just guaranteed you guys a spot in the top 16. So, not good enough for you guys. Obviously, you guys are looking for more. But you get the win here that you wanted. How are you feeling now? Because that's a big win for you guys. You're now guaranteed top 16.
I feel relieved. We didn't win it how we wanted to win it. We wanted to win it dominantly, but we ended up winning. So, pretty happy.
Yeah, I know. At the start of the season, you guys, mentioned that this was a team that was built to win this tournament. You guys said that again last season, and again, I think you guys are being met with some very tough competition here in your group. This is the second time you've gone to Game 5. The first time around, it was against the Ore Hornets. We saw that match where you guys lost in Game 5. What was different about this time from last time?
We decided to lock in and actually win the game. We didn't sell. There was less goals that we gave up that were on us than before. That makes sense.
No, I understand what you're talking about here. Obviously, you're talking about how it felt like you guys had more control over kind of the outcome of the series than you had in your last two Aura Hornets. Talk to me about that, kind of about the control that you guys want in these matches. You mentioned you wanted to win dominantly, and the way you guys do it is so often through. You guys want to do it through control, but so often we see you guys do it through counterattacks. This series was definitely one where both teams had their fair share of possession. You guys had a good amount of counterattack plays that really worked for you guys. It feels like you guys are developing more into a counterattack team. Is that something that is intentional? Is that something that you guys aren't really going for? It just so happens to be the way you guys are playing? Because you mentioned before you guys want control, and well, the counterattacks are working, but you don't really need control to win on counterattacks.
Yeah, we don't usually go for like the counterattack type of plays, but like it's just kind of like happened. So I guess that's kind of just like what we're going for now, I guess, moving forward. But I think we do like wanna hopefully by the time it becomes playoffs, transition to where we can just dominate teams like we should be.
Well, the postseason's only in 2 weeks, so you guys are almost there. Your match next week is probably it's going to be by far the toughest of the season so far. The Chill Stars are 4-0. They have only dropped one game this season. In all of their series, in all four matches they've had. So you guys are going to be the last team that they'll be playing against. They still have to play this week as well, but I mean, the match this week is already actually sorry, they're 4-0. They've already won their match this week. So you guys get to play them next week. The top team there, they're going to be your best competition to really prepare for the playoffs. The nice thing is you have no pressure, so talk to me about what you guys are going to do for the match next week, because that match is going to be very telling on how well you guys do in the top 16.
Yeah, obviously we're gonna scrim before the match and scrim throughout the week. We've already played this team like a couple of times already, and we've done pretty good against them. So we're just hoping to come out and hopefully do it again.
Well, I like the confidence here, Aizbo and Ukiyo Kaizen. I guess with the win tonight and with how you guys are feeling, you should feel pretty confident about yourselves. A Game 5 win here over Affinity Mirage. Before you leave, Aizbo, do you have any last messages, any shoutouts, any final words?
Shout out my teammates because they low-key carried me through the game. I was low-key not playing my best, so good on them. And I want to thank Osclo and Dante and the other guy they scrimmed us for scrimming us before, because we did not have a scrim before this. They showed up last minute. So
Well,
good on them.
thank you for joining as well, Aizbo. Congrats on your win, to you and Ukiyo Kaizen. Good luck in your match next week. So for now, though, take care. Have a great rest of your season. And again, you've guaranteed a spot in top 16. We'll almost certainly be trying to catch some matches then. For now, though, take care. Have a great rest of your night.
You too.
Aizbo joining in, Ukiyo Kaizen, a 3-2 victory. Sure, they're pretty happy about that. And I'm pretty happy about how that match went. It was a pretty close one. At the very least, a Game 5. Always fun to see. But now, thank you all so much for joining the stream and being here for everything. For now, though, have a great rest of your evening. I know somebody else is going to be live later this night, I believe. Who is live after this? Oh, I wonder if they're live right now. They're not. We're going to get a raid out as well. Thank you so much for joining the Sportia stream and being so supportive. Now, take care, be well, and have an amazing rest of your evening. We'll be live again tomorrow to guarantee a match tomorrow at 9 Eastern. We might have another match earlier than that, but we are guaranteed a match tomorrow in the Phoenix Cup with Guardian Leviosa and Goon Lagoon. We'll definitely get to see that pretty fun matchup. But for now, again, if you need updates, look at the Ascent Tournament Series Discord, Discord, the Twitch or X at ATS_RL for updates. For now, take care.